What's on, guys? Welcome back. Another edition Holy Try Football Podcast Week 6 preview. It's me, AY, coming to you from the Commonwealth, the beautiful state, capital, the red state. Butchered again. Pennsylvania, to my west. D-Berg, what's up?
Nothing.
Nothing. Simple. Can, to my east. What's up?
Nothing.
Okay.
AY's playoff hopes are up, I'll tell you that much.
I don't know with that USC loss.
Told you. Wait till after Halloween. Ryder Cup, though. Ryder Cup loss.
Oh, yeah. Well, I heard it was very raucous and the Euros weren't happy about
From the scenes I saw,
cheering.
the home videos from the crowd that people were sending and leaking on the internet, it's just embarrassing.
How about the fuck you Rory MC?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
his wife got hit with the beer, didn't she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some guy called Rory an F word that the Euros call SIGs.
That F word.
That one.
There's a Prince. Did I send you the new play up here in New York called Prince? That?
No.
I'll send it to you now.
Should have pre-produced that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that in post-production. Yeah. That was the weekend. The slate, I think it pretty much lived up to it. Close games all over the place on Saturday and Friday night.
Yep. Agreed.
It was that's the worst thing about being at the game is you don't get to see all the action all day long, and it sounded like there was some exciting stuff going around, including that Alabama Georgia game, obviously, but you missed the end of the Lane LSU game, and I think Jackson Arnold was pretty good there. That middle eight was pretty bad for me.
Jackson Arnold was not good.
Yeah, Jackson Arnold, and they're pretty good offense.
The game was close.
Yeah. Yeah, but obviously, other things on the mind for me. I don't want to dive into too deeply there, but what other things do we highlight there? I mean, Burt tried to give it away, right? But still came out with the victory, walked it off against USC. I don't know what Lincoln's deal is there. I saw what there was some stat that Bear had about him being like 0-12 in games outside California or something like that.
Huh. I wonder what the other half of that is.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I mean, they do always lose. They lose in the mid. Well, didn't they beat?
No, I think it's maybe against the spread. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, okay. Because they beat Purdue 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they lost to Maryland last year, Minnesota last year. So yeah.
Here's one. Under Lincoln Riley, USC has been favored away from the home 15 times. Trojans have covered just 3. 2 came in the Rose Bowl versus UCLA. The other came at Stanford. That's 0-11 against the spread with 6 outright losses as a favorite outside the state of California.
Wow.
Does Lincoln have a non-California problem? If we want to talk about talking heads, we could hit that news nugget early on here. What do you think of Paul thinking about a Senate run?
Yeah, no, I saw one text about it and I saw a headline. That's it. So I haven't clicked on anything or read anything.
Alabama is the cradle of college football to politics, I think.
Hard to argue.
Florida State, that Friday night game, were you guys catching that one? Were you guys home for that? AY?
I watched the end of it.
Yeah.
I was monitoring. Yeah, because that started at 7, right? And then what time did that TCU Arizona
9.
State game
That
start at
started
9?
at
Yeah.
9. Yeah.
Well, I think with the Florida State game, we had to start at the ending with the fastest field storm in history.
They were already
out the blocks.
Squirrel got engulfed. That was crazy.
Yeah. Very dangerous, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State was – they battled back twice. Big Tom Castellanos.
Yeah.
Tommy boy.
Then just ran out of magic there. Chandler Morris played well, I guess. Atmosphere was good. They had plenty of Zimas.
Oh man, yeah, that
Fine.
was
Cody Elliott, good for him. He's got him ranked this week, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a spoiler alert. That's a fate.
That's about as weak this early in the season. That's weak. I would put Maryland in there over them.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, they got they've got an L. Oh, look who's chiming in here. Any comments? Anything you want to add for the recap of the weekend roost?
Oh, Steve.
He's chiming in from YouTube. We can you want to go over the locks here. We can give credit where credit's due,
Yeah.
Dan's brother only gets credit when he loses, so
Right. So yeah, he had BYU against Colorado. Didn't get there all the way.
yeah.
Good teams win, great teams cover. Cougs. I'm sure Pat's thinking that today. Also, the Mad Dog, Jamie Coyne, crashing with my darling Kansas Jayhawks.
Yes.
They had a lead, and then Cincy, as we'll get to them later, stormed back and won, I believe. I didn't see a snap of that game, admittedly.
Wisconsin fans not happy to see Satterfield continuing to win there.
Yeah, their diabolical plan. They don't want to go back. Oh my gosh. Heel as in Luke Fickell.
Yes. What are the games that we have here? Ohio State, that defense looks pretty good.
Yeah, they looked.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with Fish the rest of the way, but that was pretty dominant.
And there's some rumblings out there that Downs is not the best player on that defense either.
Styles or what?
Arvell Reese carving out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Stock up for him.
No,
I
think if you say that, then it's like the Ohtani MVP conversation. You're just getting bored at that point. You want something new.
Oh, you're zagging. You're saying.
I think AY's staying with the zig.
It came down to
oh yeah, that's what I meant. That he's saying people are just zagging on purpose.
Yeah,
if we were zagging out of fatigue, yeah.
Yes.
No, Caleb Downs is the best player on defense in the country.
Okay. In honor of Roost. Lane Train putting it to his future son-in-law, maybe. I saw he was spewing on the field as well. He was throwing up.
Yeah.
In front of his girlfriend. Hopefully they made it through the weekend. But Lane up to number 4 now. I mean, do you believe in them?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Pretty quick, matter of fact answer out of me. I just don't.
What's the rest of their?
Was he seated at any point in Lane's coaching history?
I feel like I have to say yes as having them in my playoff.
Well, yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago Chambliss, yeah.
They've got Washington State coming up. Wow,
what a sweet
I
game!
think they can win that.
And then they've got Georgia and Oklahoma. And Oklahoma probably, maybe they'll have.
Yeah, it seems like it'll be iffy if Material will be back. Yeah.
But the rest of the schedule looks pretty good, honestly. Georgia looks very beatable. Yeah, I buy in on this as a playoff team.
Wait, hold on, back up a little bit. Did you say Georgia looked very beatable?
They did. Think about what that defense has been. Obviously, they shut them down there in the second half. But you don't think Lane? You don't think Lane can scheme up some stuff against that defense?
Well, he did do it last year, so I can't say
exactly. So Georgia.
I'm thinking Georgia revenge in that spot, though.
Georgia's thinking revenge. Were you thinking revenge in their game this past weekend as well? Both of them at home. Let's see. Let's go back to the tape here.
But LSU beat them last year.
No, I'm talking Georgia. I thought you were saying
Georgia spot. I suppose, yeah, and I thought they were better ultimately than Alabama.
Yeah.
From what I saw, at least. They just had some major soilage in the second half.
They had the drop touchdown pass, but so did
it was perfect ball from
Alabama
Stinkin.
had a drop touchdown pass. Obviously, they did punch that drive in eventually.
That's what I mean, yeah, that was clearly because I think they had another incomplete pass. I saw that whole drive. I mean, it wasn't very long. It was 3 plays, but yeah, that was after Georgia stopped them at midfield. Yeah, I mean, that's just, you got to have that. Needless to say, you got to have that.
Needless. No need to say it.
And then did I see the I don't know that I saw that 4th and 1 where Georgia turned it over on their next drive.
Oh, that was the Cash Jones. That was the Cash
exactly, yeah.
Handoff. That was absolutely I think he tried to stretch it out. He was barely touched. He was just like already trying to lean going outside and like bumped and it just falls over.
Yeah. And then they had it again.
Did you save your eyes from seeing any of the Signetti?
I didn't see any of that. No.
I'm glad.
I didn't see it either.
Very disgusting game. I heard it was
I didn't see a snap of that game.
Amazing cover. Not that I needed it at the number that we were playing it at. We played it at 7.5. So
7.5, yeah.
So I was good to go there, but amazing. Yeah. Fernando running 45 yards for the safety.
I actually saw.
I don't understand why he had to go all the way. Was he just making sure that there was no time left on the clock? Because he just had to go like 10 yards for it to get to 0 on the clock.
Yeah, I don't. But he commented on the spread.
He did. He knew that he had impacted it, but I don't understand why he ran because he ran 45 yards and by I think it was like 2 or 3 seconds. That's it. By the 10-yard mark, he halfway there, the time had already expired. So I don't know why he had to go all the way to the end zone. I'd have been pissed.
Good point.
Yeah.
And then Klanger, some saying they should have won even. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll put my hand up there. They proved me wrong.
Yeah, they've done it. This is one of the weird developments, I gotta say.
Yeah. What a head coaching job by Levy down there.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to his Levy.
Do you, Dan, do you want to go into your recap first?
I mean, I could talk about Doran. I'm not going to say a ton about Pitt, Boston College. This just in. But no, yeah, I mean, it's one of the more inventive losses that I've ever seen Pitt have, is the best way to describe it. And obviously, I'm the first one to get on the Pitt head coach. But they came out, started very strong. Obviously, we mentioned the 17-0 leads already, I think. Or was that before? Oh, no, it was before the show. But we did mention, or I'll mention it now, I guess, the multiple 17-0 leads going down in flames. The kick catch interference that kind of was, I guess, the initial spark for Louisville getting back into the game. It's a weird call because it's not like, for those that didn't see it, Pitt's punt returner Kenny Johnson, that a guy kind of blocked in. It wasn't the biggest block I'd ever seen, but it was also worthy of a flag being picked up. I just wish there was something to do, even though he still went after the ball and was touched, and Louisville ultimately recovered and got the ball inside the 5. I'd like to see, because there was a flag almost, is just mark the ball down at the 4 and Pitt gets it, even though they picked it up. It's obviously they're not going to do that, but just wish there were a bit of a medium there. Then the Nepo punter, just all time blunder after being okay. I don't think I've complained about him in over a year, but he literally dropped the ball and gave it to Louisville inside the 30. Despite all that silliness, Pitt finds themselves obviously up 7 in the second half, inside the 5, chance to extend it back to 2 scores, double digits. Probably they sort of lost it anyway, but Eli Holsting throws a terrible interception again, which ultimately later in the game, for the last 2 drives of the game, he was benched in favor of Cole Gonzalez, who was Pitt's offensive coordinator, Cade Bell's quarterback at Western Carolina. That didn't work. They got to midfield, and that drive crapped out. So it's just the coaches. This is the one where it's like they can't prevent the players really from doing just dumb shit on the field. That's what all this stuff was that happened on the field. It's obviously, like I thought Pitt's defense actually played pretty well. Louisville had 4 touchdowns. 3 of them were inside of 30 yards, were 30 yards or less. So, I mean, it's not like it's a chronic problem, the defense, in this matchup at least. So, yeah, no, it's disappointing. You have double-digit leads in all 4 games of the season. Somehow you're 2-2. Not great. So that's pretty much it. That was I was not impressed by what's his name, Miller Moss.
Miller Moss
did not blow me away by any means, and let it slip through.
Was there any commentary on the ball boy?
Oh yeah, I was wondering what was going on in real time. I'm like, what? I said, they celebrating with this kid? And then I saw that it was the Louisville football guy. And they didn't really acknowledge it on the broadcast. Maybe they also didn't know what was going on right away. But obviously Louisville having their fun with that, saying I think they outscored Pitt 34-10 after that. So they got their social clips out of it. Rasheed Biles, I even saw the the foremost authority on all things Pitt, Chris Dokish. Somehow I caught a tweet of him. I probably saw it because Can actually looks at all Dokish's tweets on.
No, I don't. We weren't following him for a long time.
Yeah, and then you look him up, and no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, he mentioned he is his number 1 Pitt player of the year. I would tend to agree with that. He's been great. Kyle Lewis has been fine as well, but he's been really great. Just a shame. I mean, it's just classic. They don't have, and they lost. Left guard is out for the season. The guys whose name I couldn't pronounce, and now probably will not take the time to learn to pronounce because he's only going to play 4 games with Pitt. Yeah, disappointing. But that's the classic shit. Like that is every time I complain. It's the whole. No, it's an emotional game, but maybe just give the ball boy back the ball. After that play, don't open yourself up to some bad karma, if nothing less. Although certainly it didn't. Rasheed Biles played a great game the rest of the way too, so it didn't impact him directly. And we were on to Boston College, which I will talk about for maybe a minute.
Well, I'll talk because I won't be talking about UCLA all that much either. I'll talk now about Penn State and all that happened out there. Another squandered opportunity for a statement win, I think. The team fought back. Disheartening to say the least. We said if not now, then when? In this show last week.
I said the preseason.
Still wondering when. The bottom line, the defense played a pretty good game. I don't think you can fault them. They're allowing 17 points in regulation to that type of an offense. I think they played a good game, but it was lacking in the impact plays. He didn't have a sack. Really, there were some pressures here and there, but I mean, I think you felt the absence of an Abdul Carter type of a pass rusher that can bend the edge and really get there. with the speed rush. Deny Dennis Sutton for all of his talent and how good he is. He's not that type of a rusher, and he was on that last touchdown for Oregon. He had him. I wouldn't say dead to rights, but he missed a sack there. There were no sacks at all throughout the evening. The defense was a classic bend but don't break, putting a lid on everything, as Jim Knowles is wont to do, and they did a good job of doing that. The thing you'll have an issue with that type of defense is I think eventually you do wear down, especially with Penn lack of depth up front there. Not that they were getting home anyway, but I think when you're forced, I think Oregon went forward on fourth down 7 times maybe. I think they were 5 for 7 on. So you're giving up these long sustained drives, 10 play, 11 play, 12 play, 10 play, 11 play, right? It'll beat on them. But again, they had a pass that went off of AJ Harris's hands and it was caught by Decory Moore. There were, I won't go to the holding calls, but there were a couple that looked pretty obvious there that weren't called right in front of refs. And then, the fumble recovery, which was, that kind of felt like a backbreaker when they were overturning that call based off of the footage that was out there. That was tough as well. But you can't. I think the vast majority goes on not just the offensive players, but offensive staff. I've had to sit and marinate on it for a little while now, and so is Chelsea. But the issues come back, I think, to it's very, very interesting because Penn State made the choice for Drew Aller, and I think they made the change with the offensive coordinator and went to Kotelnicki, who has, by and large, had success with a mobile quarterback and having that as a big part of his playbook. And they've been trying to fit Aller into this scheme, and it hasn't really evolved to accommodate for him. And so Franklin's got this drop back NFL-style quarterback, but he's trying to make it fit and work with what he has long used, right? The immobile quarterback. He's long employed that and wanted to use that, and he brought Kotelnicki in, and they're still using the scheme with a guy that doesn't have that. I won't go into whether Aller's an alpha or if he's a dog, if he's got it right at the quarterback position, but this team was built as they brought back all those players on the offensive line, both those running backs. They were built to grind it out, run the ball, and be able to beat teams up. They didn't need Aller and the passing game to be explosive, and they weren't going to ask him to do that, right? That hasn't been what he's been for two plus years, and I don't think that's what he's going to be. So what you're getting out of that. The biggest disappointment is that running game. Eventually, in the fourth quarter, they were running outside, and that was getting them a little bit of movement. But again, they were pounding their heads against these brick walls for 3 quarters. It's the same story that you're getting for the last 2 Ohio State games, probably the third one coming up here. It's the same story you had, at least against Notre Dame, right? They had a little bit of success there in the first half, but once some adjustments were made, Penn State was quickly slowed down. It's really, really it's almost, it's borderline on impressive now at this point how little Penn State's offensive staffs have been able to adjust at all when teams that have the similar talent levels are able to take away what they want to do. It's either 1, total incompetence, or 2, total overconfidence and arrogance in your team being able to figure it out and actually make something happen from a physical standpoint. Either way, I think it's total negligence, gross negligence on the coaching staff's fault for not making adjustments, or either not being able to make them or refusing to make them. Because at this point, it's ridiculous seeing the same things happen every big game when you run up against a defense that will know, what you're trying to do and has the athletes to stop it. They are absolutely gobsmacked when their first option and what they're trying to do is stop. They have no adjustments, no pivots. It's it's really impressive to see. And this has happened for many years going on now, different offensive coordinators. It is part of the DNA, and a lot of it has to do with Franklin and how he approaches these big games. Right, he's going to lean on his defense. He's not going to let he's going to play in a phone booth. But playing that way with that little margin for error doesn't afford you the opportunities when especially when you're hitting your head against the wall, trying to run it up the middle and not getting anything. It worked against Oregon last time they played in December, but it's as if they expected Oregon to come in and play the exact same way and for the exact same stuff to work, as if Oregon wasn't going to make any adjustments. And that's the most frustrating thing is other staffs are able to make adjustments and are able to see if something is not working. They're not going to continue to try to jam a square peg in a round hole. They're going to try to accommodate for certain players or make adjustments if there's a weakness somewhere. It's, like I said, either they're incapable of it or they're just arrogant enough to think, oh, we brought back a bunch of talented offensive linemen. They're going to get better this year and we're going to be able to force it down people's throats. I think it's obvious that something is missing on that offensive line right now. They're not able to run the ball like they were last year. And, it looks – they brought all these guys back to retain them and ostensibly with the thought of they're going to get better. They're going to follow the Michigan or the Ohio State game plan. But really, I don't think anybody accounted for the fact that they could come back and they may have already hit their ceiling, and now they're just the same team as last year minus 2 first-round draft picks. I think that's really what you're looking at in the mirror right now. They did hold stuff back the first couple of games. They brought it out, and it just didn't work. So they're back to the drawing board now. I think he said in his press conference today that there are adjustments that have to be made. I don't know why it took over 3 quarters into the game for them to be made, but Oregon was running the same defensive shell basically that Penn State does, and the receivers were running into zones. The pass rush was getting home. A lot of it is on Drew. That last pass is on Drew, but his offensive staff, Koto Nicky, is not doing him any favors out there. And that's really, I think, the end, the long story and the short. So, sorry.
Bringing back John Donovan?
I don't know if that would be much better, but I don't know if it'd be much worse either. In big games, at the very least. It's really weird to see. I will say, irregardless of how Drew will finish out the year or how this offense will look by the end of it, I do think the offense would have been much better served if they had Bo out there. He fits that system way better, and it would have made a lot more sense.
There it is. It got there.
But it was impossible to keep him. You couldn't have when the head coach is dead set on proving that he can win with a 5-star first-round draft pick at quarterback instead of going the gimmick route. And what was working in the fourth quarter?
The gimmick route.
The gimmick running your quarterback. He ran for 40 yards in the fourth quarter. That's the only thing that was working. He stopped passing. Anything you guys have to add or comment on?
No, I said for the first 3 quarters, like a glass of warm milk watching that game. To steal the line, as I've been doing with everyone this week from Happy Gilmore, when his grandma says, "Can I trouble you for a glass of warm milk? It helps put me to sleep." That's what I felt like watching the first 3 quarters, and then it picked up. So
and then Ben Stiller goes, "Can I trouble you can trouble me for a glass of shut the hell up."
That's right. Yep. So that's how I felt watching it. They got a couple months to figure it out. That's really the only takeaway. It's not like you got blown off the field or anything like that.
They got 1 month. They got 1 month for Ohio State, I guess.
Well, no, but even then, like if they lose that, they have to split. What do we say? As long as they split between Ohio State,
and Indiana, as long as Indiana and Nebraska stay respectable, they should be fine. And to get those wins.
I thought Oregon's D-line, credit to them, they played great. I know Penn State D-line didn't play as well. But yeah, just the whole Aller thing, it just doesn't – it was very telling too on the comeback. A hell of a throw on that touchdown pass to Ross, but that next drive when Konicki like really cranked up the jet motions, the outside runs with the receivers and stuff, the Aller runs, like he kind of said, "All right, Drew, like we got lucky once with you. We're not gonna let you try it again."
Yeah.
And it worked, but then they went back to the well again. I mean, I don't know where he's. I see what he was throwing. Obviously, he was throwing that wheel route, but it's not like a pass you can just zip in there. That's a touch pass. That's.
Well, he did try to layer it over him.
Yeah, but like
He just didn't layer it that well.
if you're gonna try and fit something in, I prefer my quarterback to throw a 100-mile-per-hour fastball than a deft touch like a downhill slider putt. Like, that's not easy to do.
He tried to layer. He tried to. He did not do it well. Regardless, this was talked about on a podcast. Penn State's offense, a lot of those, that was one of his favorite plays. He ran that to Warren all the time last year. Same play. A lot of teams are adjusting to this and have seen it. Ohio State was adjusting to it by the end of the last year as well, after they pillaged USC on it multiple times, and teams know to flip the rules on a lot of these coverages and to have Penn State specific coverages when it comes to these plays, right? And again, it is always seeming like Penn State is one step behind the opponent when it comes to adjustments. But we can move on to this week. Turn the page. We've all got multiple X's. This feels like multiple X's on me right now.
I'm ready to set a land speed record with this god awful come down slate.
Yeah, we'll get into it in a second because I don't have much on Notre Dame, Arkansas. I haven't been able to watch it yet. I watched the 20-minute extended highlights and stuff, but I don't know. The pit man's gone. The defense, from everything I've heard from evaluator, like film watchers, Notre Dame just basically went back to the Otani Dong.
Yep.
Notre Dame basically just stripped it down on defense. Said, let's just play like this base with like 3 variations. Let's just let our guys play football. And it was much better. So maybe you just slowly add on from that. Offensively, I mean, it looks good right now. So just keep it going.
Keep it going. They're going to be on the warpath here for the next 2 months. They have to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is like these last 2 recaps. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, like with Penn State and this big game. You're just like, if not now, when? Like, conservative here, Aller this, like, just can't get over the hump there. And for Notre Dame, it's back yourself against the wall by mid-September or earlier and just go on a warpath. It was successful last year. The schedule was similar to last year, but you also have 2 losses, but one's not to a MAC team. They're to 4 points to 2 top 5 teams. So we'll see how that ages, but a lot of moving pieces. But yeah, I mean, warpath is on. Notre Dame hasn't punted since the 3rd quarter of A&M. They did line up to punt against Arkansas, but they snuck Love on the field and did a fake reverse pass to phase on the Fields.
That's good. I like that.
They were up 42-13 when that happened.
That's mean.
Just emptying the bag. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I know it's Purdue and Arkansas, but it's just good to just get into a rhythm. So we'll see if it carries on. And last thing, shout out to CJ Carr has been great, but he's been really great. I thought it was funny. Love and Price have 16 touchdowns now, and that is as many as UCLA and Clemson combined. Not great.
You see, they're playing. We're not picking it. They're playing Belichick this week.
I almost snuck it on there, but
they've got Ludacris in their pre-game concert series playing at 10 a.m. for that 12 o'clock game. For that
yeah. So he got bumped he got bumped up because of the game.
Yeah,
because the game time got bumped up. So Ludacris is meandering his way from Bloom Fair to Chapel Hill.
Oh, he closed out the Bloom Fair.
No, he was only I think he was Wednesday night. So he has what 9 days to get from Bloomsburg to Chapel Hill. I would love to see that route. I'm sure he flew home, but that's just come on, man. So there we go. On to week 6. Before we do news and notes, I did allude to the Pitman getting axed. Petrino this is just again Groundhog Day. This is incredible.
I can't believe it. 12 years later, another stint in the Ville. 2 stints in the Ville. 2 stints in Fayetteville. He's amazing. He is incredible. Well, this is the right move for the Arkansas Brass. They just have him be the sacrificial lamb out there. They're going to get slaughtered the rest of the year, and they're just going to have an easy out for
I don't know. You know,
he didn't get the job.
You know he's gonna throw everything at this.
I mean, that offense is awesome.
It is. He's just gonna completely empty the bag here.
I can't wait. He fired a bunch of defensive coaches too, I think.
Oh yeah, he said, yeah. Oh, I mean, rightfully that defense. Those.
Well, but who's going to be running that team? They're going to have no coaches to coach at all.
They're going to have Colby Smith, his former Louisville running back, is his OC right now.
Wait, wow,
that defense. So
they got to get Harry D. They got to get Harry Douglas in there.
Yeah,
there was.
I think he does radio in Atlanta. Maybe we'll shoot down.
I'm not sure if you guys saw the highlights of that Notre Dame game, but those receivers were just so open. That's why it's like, okay, like everyone's like.
I'm very jealous. Grant got that early minus 16.5 for you guys.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if they went and beat Roth and off their bye? Oh my gosh.
They were I've seen some Arkansas Twitter blaming that win against Roth last year for hexing this program. It was all downhill from there.
Well, looking back, it was a good peak at the time.
Yeah. With the backup, right? They had the backup in there?
Yeah, I think so. You know, the interesting thing is, like, I think didn't their AD come out and say, like, Sam Pittman did not have the resources or something like that?
Yeah, he admitted, like, hey, like we didn't give him all the tools to succeed.
Yeah. I mean, Cal Perry is going to be using up all the tools still. Like, what do they think? Whoever's going in there better get a ton of money from Tyson and Walmart.
Like, where's the disconnect there when you have literally a conveyor belt of money from Tyson Foods and Walmart? Like, does it just like run off and like into a trash can? Like, how do you not? Or did Pittman say, "We're all right. We don't need it"?
I have no idea. I don't understand.
I don't either.
Like, if Texas Tech can do it, why can't they? It makes zero sense.
I agree. You guys got any other news?
Let me see here. What was I thinking? I don't think so. Oh yeah, I mean we talked about. No, I don't have anything.
Yeah, it's a little early still. Still a little early for the week 6 special news, but Yeah, so Pittman's there. We'll see what. I saw two names floated. That's it. Rhett Lashley and Dabo Sweeney.
I don't think Rhett wants to go back, apparently.
I don't blame him.
I'd love to see if Gus wants to go back. That'd be hilarious.
What about Houston Nutt?
Oh, he's been trying to get back in the game.
Maybe we get like Holgerson or something.
That'd be good.
Seems like he.
I heard some interesting stuff. Is would Odom go? Is Purdue worth staying at and not taking a bite at the apple back in Arkansas for Odom? I don't know. Let's get to this week. We're already at 45 minutes.
Yeah. Jeez.
Well, luckily these games aren't the best, so we can party on through them. Let's get started with. Speaking of Odom, Burt in Illinois traveling to the Big Drum in Purdue. Only 9.5-point favorites here.
My goal is now going to be get every Burt game wrong, so I'll lay it with Burt.
I will. I do think Odom's done a good job here, but I think it'd be a late. I've gone back and forth on this. I go 10-point win for Burt here. Barely gets done. I'm picking a 9.5.
I'll go a 9-point win for Burt. I think I like what Odom's doing here with this team. I know they're not great. The defense is awful, but
AY really pushing the pillars here for strength of schedule.
A pretty wild back-to-back weeks for Illinois there with the drubbing and then the emotional USC now going to lowly Purdue.
True.
Iowa State traveling to Cincinnati with a wild game last week. Iowa State 5-0. Underdogs at Cincinnati by 1.5 points. Let's check the archives.
I don't think Satterfield did pretty well in that first game. They played tough against Nebraska. Sorsby is not bad. I think they're riding a little high here. With that Kansas win, I would take ISU clones to eke this one out on the road.
I'm not going against the angle here. Give me Cincy.
English.
The angle for those uninitiated. An unranked team favored against a ranked team is like 97% all the time or something like that.
Something like that.
It's not that high, but it's
something like that.
Pretty fake news. English Saxon.
Yeah, I'm going Cincinnati here. I don't know. I just haven't. Iowa State's just. I feel like there's been Magoo, Hansen, and I guess Beck's been a little better than I give him credit for, but so I don't know. Say Corleone clogs up the middle. They can't run it.
Don.
And Cincinnati and Sorsby has the game somehow. K-State, Kansas Cats against Baylor. Sawyer, Robertson, and Baylor.
Sawyer.
6.5-point favorites. Dylan Edwards back last week and was nice. Over Scott Frost and co. though.
Over Scott Frost and co. who has that 20-plus point win over the best coach of all time. So
true. So transitive in play here.
I will go with Kansas State to cover here. I don't know if they'll win, but Sawyer Robertson is nice, but I do think Kansas State got a little bit of their mojo back. I think I got my swagger back.
That's right.
I'm going my Cats.
Me as well, Ken.
Yeah, let's make it a clean sweep. Look, it's clear I like Baylor a lot, but I don't trust them, so 6.5. I'll take the candy.
Trust them as far as you'll throw them.
Texas coming off a bye, traveling to Florida. I think it's also off a bye. Gators catching 6.5 at home, just in the middle of this gauntlet of a schedule. Napier, is this his last stand?
I think it is. That Florida 5-star receiver Dallas Wilson is set to make his debut this weekend. They've been working all this stuff in the bye. That defense is nice. I think they will be able to stymie some of what Texas has had trouble with. Right? Everybody's suddenly forgotten things after Arch and his aura stepping over that poor Sam Houston State guy. I'm going just barely losing there in the swamp for the home team, but I will take the points for sure.
I'm gonna be so pissed if Florida plays well in this game. I'm going Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, I'm looking back here. I feel like I've taken Florida every week so far in these games. It hasn't really worked out. But I'm going to do it again. Give me Napier. Going back to the preseason grids, I haven't won this game. I think they might. Take the points, though. Vanderbilt, Alabama, and T-Town.
Bama revenge game. Game day's there.
Game day, 10.5-point favorites with revenge on the mind.
This has gone down precipitously. I think it opened at 14.
Still too big, Vandy. I'm riding it. I'm riding it until they get absolutely blasted by one of these teams. It might be this weekend, but
I think they'll get blasted based off of revenge factor, and it's Bama at home. They play well at home, which is why I was so impressive they got that win last week. According to Dan, Georgia did look good.
For the second half. The first quarter, maybe the first 20 minutes of the game, not so much, but they got it going after that. Yeah, I will be locking up if there is a Georgia-Alabama rematch in the future this season.
I'm going Bama. I'm going Bama here to blow the doors. No pun intended there off of the doors. Comfortable win, maybe like a 21-point lead. You know, Pavia's in there trying to get the backdoor 14-point win.
Yeah, I was so confident in Bama in this spot. Looking at some of Pavia's numbers, he's so good this year as a pocket passer. Not even this little read option.
Sauer's nice.
Stowers and the Richardson on the outside, and I forget the receiver, Sherrill maybe. I think I'm treating this game like I'm treating the Mississippi State-Tennessee game last week. Where Vanderbilt's better than Mississippi State. Alabama's better than Tennessee. But I just don't believe in Vandy. I'm sorry. I just don't. So I'm going to go Bama off, even with the body blow.
They're out there running it up on Tar State.
Also giving up a lot against Tar State.
Exactly. That's why they had to run it up on them.
I know Vandy's not going to be scared here, but I think DeBoer will have these guys ready to go. So give me Bama by – my initial thought was 30, but I'll just say 14.
All right. Virginia coming off of that nice win. Cards at home laying 7.5. I think there's some 6.5s out there as well. Dan, what was your thoughts on this Ville team? You weren't impressed with Moss?
No. Yeah. I'm going to take him in this. It's the angle, but.
Yeah, I will also take the angle here. I will take him at home. Tony Elliott arriving just a second too early. No, that offense is pretty good. So I'll take Bill here as well.
Yeah, it's been a clean sweep. This Cards D line has just been awesome. It wasn't as great last week, but
no, it was not.
I think they get back to their normal selves here against the Virginia team who's riding very high. I need to see it one more time. If they win this game, then wow, the schedule really opens up for them. Fun one here. Washington traveling cross country, take on the Terps, and the Huskies are laying 6.5. Two very young, good and fun quarterbacks with potential for sure. Williams and Washington.
Yep. I don't like the cross country. I don't like the letdown from the big and being up and really, I'm sure they were really amped to play the number one team in the country last week. They're coming to Sleepy College Park. I'll take the points here. I think the game will be fun though, so I'll take Terps here in the bow.
I'm Turpin as well. Oh no, never mind. No, I'm not. Hold on. What am I talking about? Fish, he gets off the mat and cuts through this team.
Fish against Turtles.
Yeah, I don't know what that got.
Yep, sea creatures.
What was I thinking?
I don't know. I'm going Terps though. I don't know who's going to win. I'll just take the points.
Agreed. This is an interesting one. I'm not fully. Oh, you want to read it in AY?
Texas Tech traveling to Houston. Both teams undefeated. Cougs catching 11.5 at home.
I'm taking these points here. I do think Texas Tech pretty good here, but I think, especially we don't know where Bear Morton is. Not that Hammond didn't look good, but I think they're going to play it relatively conservatively. Just going to get in, get out with a win. I'll go with like a 10-point win for them, 31-21. But Cougs cover at home. Samson. I bet you Samson will be in the building. Samson will be in the building.
Could be in the building, yeah. Big spot here. I'm laying it with Tech though. Well timed by Cougs, whatever the hell that product was that you watched them coming back. I'm not believing.
Yeah, look at the metrics here. This is a awful matchup. Houston cannot pass block, and Texas Tech just eats offensive lines. This should probably be Texas Tech 31-10, but throw it out. Houston covers somehow. Don't ask me how.
I won't.
And I just checked per Sagarin. With the home field, this is like a 5-point line. Not a good matchup for the Cougs. Maybe Wegman gets it done. Who knows? The rebirth of Wegman. On to the nightcap ACC battle. The Canes and Ruben Bain traveling to Tallahassee to take on Big Tom. And the Knowles catching 4.5. Malzahn, maybe, one eye elsewhere right now. Who knows? Candace pointed that.
What do you think? Not that it matters. Florida State dropping to number 18 here, while the Bama team that they whooped up on all the way up to number 10.
I think it's obvious.
SEC bias.
SEC bias.
For what it's worth, Florida State 23 in Sagarin. Alabama's number 4. Again, just a rating system.
Yeah.
I reference it because it's number 3 in Sagarin, Dan.
Miami.
They're 5.
Notre Dame.
Yeah. It's because of the
Arkansas carnage.
It's because of the SOS and 2 blowouts in a row.
Oh yeah.
Once the SOS wanes off, they're not going to drop anchor, but they'll be sinking down. Ohio State number 1, for those wondering, and Oregon number 2. Penn State 6.
I'm ready for them to rise.
A little faulty. And Pitt 51.
Seems high.
1 ahead of Cairns Cats.
Room for growth. Room for upward mobility.
For sure. But as far as this one goes, Miami, Florida State. I would be licking my chops with a top 5 team going on the road at night somewhere, but I think I'm just going to stay consistent here. And I think it's just FSU. Michael just telling me this team isn't – maybe he's changed his tune of late, but I think Miami gets out of there with a rock fight 7-point win.
Yeah, I think 4.5 is gotten a little too low here. I do like Miami to eventually pull it out, but yeah, Malzahn will be drawing all of his favorite plays.
So he's gonna have guys running all over that backfield.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if Miami's defense is actually for real with this Minnesota DC. Obviously, they look pretty good early on here, but they look good against a good offense, allegedly a good offense in Notre Dame. Florida's offense has not looked good this year, so I'm excited for this game. I was really hoping that Florida State was going to be top 10. We hadn't seen this rivalry. One of my favorite rivalry growing up, honestly. We hadn't seen it back to that level in quite some time. So I'm going with Miami here to win. I like the Ruben Bain. I think you'll have a timely chase him down from behind. Maybe Tom Castellanos trying to make a play, scoop and score maybe. I like Miami here. We'll go by 5. I think Florida State misses a 2-point conversion to cut it to 3, so they'll lose by 5.
Detailed. I have Miami as well. Did I say that already?
Yep. All right. We promise not to go long here. AY, you got the longest breakdown, I think.
It won't be. Well, maybe
yeah,
it will
mine's
be,
going to
but
be a minute.
it
I
won't
mean,
be long.
they are – this BC team must be dreadful for Pitt to be giving them 6.5 points. Let me get the screen out of the way, by the way. There we go. That counts as part of my preview. I thought they obviously played all right for the little that we talk about that after they play Michigan State, but
Yeah, fun game.
results would suggest otherwise. So that being said, I mentioned about Eli Holstein being benched at the end of the game when the game was not over. It's clearly a punishment, so I'll be curious to see how he responds. Hopefully not by throwing another terrible interception or 2. And Pitt wins by 4 points. Smells like a 28-24 victory, but I cannot trust them to cover at this point.
They've been – well, BC is bad.
I know.
I'll go H2P here. H2P, I think they get rid of some of this frustration. Last couple of games have not gone their way. Like you said, inventive ways to lose. I'll go H2P here to let out some frustration on a pretty bad team.
Yeah, when I was typing this game out on the sheet, I said,
You
you
can't
know,
lose to Stanford. You cannot lose to Stanford.
no. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take the points in every pick in the rest of the year. Because I just don't know what I'm going to get from this. But I am going to lay him here. I had to bounce back.
You guys are
was
brave
BC lost to Cal last week?
Stanford. Oh yeah, and they lost to Cal last week. Yeah, so they lost
Yeah.
the West
They
Coast
lost
Swing.
to Tree. They lost to Tree 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Look, Cal traveled cross country and got to pick like really, really late in that game in the end zone.
And that's coming off their 34-0 loss to to the Aztec Technicians.
Yeah.
And then, did you see what the Aztec Technicians did this week?
6-3.
Yeah.
6-3 game against. Yeah.
what is going on here?
I'll
Yeah,
tell
I
you
know.
what. It's not pretty.
But they've got a great
No.
defense.
I suppose, which is interesting because their head coach was
Yeah, Sean Lewis is an
Sean Lewis.
offensive
He was with Dion, and then before that at Kent State. I mean, he got Kent State they gave him the 2 bowl games. Might have been.
Yeah, and then he went to Dion and got ran out of town.
Exactly.
They've got a former Michigan quarterback, I think, there.
Nick Sheridan.
Anyway, what do you have for this game here? You've got at home. This looked like could be a little dangerous coming into the year.
Yeah, Boise.
Name brand, at least. Name brand.
Name brand. Boise obviously kind of created their name brand a little bit with Week 1 loss to Mike Brown. They've rebounded since against Eastern Washington, Air Force, and App State, I believe. Look, they're going to try to run the ball with Riley, Sherrod, Gaines, Madsen's back there. The O-line is more of a run block. They're a running team, and Notre Dame has been improving more in the run game defense lately. I know it's only 4 games, but it's been stronger than the pasty. I would, if I had to guess, I think Leonard Moore is going to be out again. So the pasty, while they were good last week, Schuler and Tay Johnson back there gelling. Still, I think Notre Dame's linebacker core is the best unit on the defense. So I think if we'll be running downhill, KVA and Bowen, Snead, Osbury for ammo. And Cole Mullins has been coming on lately. Onye's been his best game last week. So the interior D line, that's something to build off of at least. And I think they just try and Boys going to try and run it. Notre Dame's going to try and stop it. And on other side of the ball, Notre Dame's in rhythm right now. And Boise State's D is not really a immovable object by any means. So I think Notre Dame continues this offensive bender they're on. And the defense can slowly rounds into some kind of form. I'm not sure what kind of form that'll be, but better form of late. So my first thought was 41-20. But then I was like, you know what? This D's not that good. So let's get a few more points. 45-27, Notre Dame. So that means a Boise State cover.
No way. Notre Dame on the.
I'm telling you, I'm not buying in yet.
I'm bought in at least for this offense to score a lot.
Well, yeah, I think they'll score 45.
Yeah, I don't think Boise's offense is good. Madsen is ass. And they got that freaking dwarf running over at running back too. He's tiny. Notre Dame, 28-point win here. I'll go 45-17.
I'm going Irish by 20.
The narrowest of head.
I think if I got every Notre Dame game right this year, I think I might have.
More importantly, how many points are they going to score? That's what I care about now.
Should I go on should I get the over for them? Should I bet the over?
41-21.
Dan was right in the first week. He was right on A&M. He was correct on Purdue. Oh, and you had Notre Dame last week. 4-0 with Notre Dame games.
The lone bright spot.
Dan on the pulse. Dan on the pulse.
And Dan has Boise this week, so it might have a little bit of sweat. Great.
Well, if you're betting the 20.5. Otherwise, I see no sweat.
Hopefully, it's just of the backdoor variety.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to see. I feel like a broken record now. I just want to see the defense play a little better. On to a team that plays in Los Angeles with UCLA.
The team that is in Los Angeles. This is my lock of the week. James has not been able to run it up on anybody yet. He's not saving anything for anybody either this time around. He's going to win by 56 points. I'm going 56 to
0.
63 to 7.
He's 0-4 against the spread this week.
He is 0-4 against the spread this year. This is unprecedented. He's getting off the schneid. I'm going PSU, and I'm locking it up.
All right. I'll go Penn State, but I'm not locking it up.
Well, as I look here, as someone who has the pulse of the Notre Dame of the Penn State spread this year.
You have the pulse.
Have you got them all right? Why?
No, 3-1.
All right. Yeah.
But
I'm
compared to you
0-4.
compared to you two, I suppose I have the pulse.
I've lost every Penn State because I picked them every week. I will always take the big spreads.
This is where
I did think they were going to beat Oregon pretty confidently.
This is where I think it's just funny. I have to see this through. We have to go 0-5 against the number, right?
We don't have to see it.
I'll take the points.
All right.
But UCLA covers by the hair on their chinny chin.
Tina.
The Utes scored 43 points against this defense. UNL, what was it? UNLV? No, it was New Mexico scored 34 or whatever.
I'm just saying.
It'd be pretty embarrassing if you guys don't then.
That Northwestern blew out to a 17-0 lead against them last week. Just to sit on it and win 17-14.
Yes, I thought it was close, right? It's a pride.
Yeah. The Wildcats blew. They jumped on them and knew they had enough. They had enough to get it done.
I'm just going by Sagarin. Spread's 23 on here.
All right. Okay.
Well, actually, no. It's 26. Home field for UCLA is 0, so it's basically right on. No. Yeah. I just think it'd be funny if James doesn't cover again. All right. Locks we can on the board emphatically. 63-7. You might just take an alt spread.
Yeah, you beat me. I think I typed mine out before you got it, Ken, but I'm going Sam Houston. It's time. We're 0-4. Thursday.
Come on, ZP. Come on, ZP.
Time to get on the board. Right this ship. They had the week off after Texas.
After the Arch Ara farming, it was disgusting.
Yep. That's Sam Houston State minus 2.5, Ken.
Okay.
Lock it up. Thursday night. Standalone game.
Standalone.
9 o'clock CBS Sports Network.
John Rothstein's tuning in. Standalone game.
I'm going to go a little off the board here as well. I'm gonna back Con this week.
Mora.
7.5 point favorites over FIU. I found this just looking through numbers, and then I clicked on their season schedules and realized they both lost to Delaware this year. But FIU lost at home by a lot, and Con lost at Delaware by 3. This line to me stinks, which means I should be on FIU, but I'm not falling for it. Or maybe I am falling for it and make them pay.
Penn State scored 34 against FIU.
And that was 34 with 14 in the last 3 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
there you have it.
There you have it.
That's what we got for
Very
this
extended recap. I might have to change this podcast name to the Week 5 recap.
Pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
It's preview.
That was a 45-minute recap. It was a good 10-minute rant from me, though.
Hey, you got it out. It was good. That's what we got for this week. We will be back next week with a Week 7 preview. Well, maybe could be. We hope it's not more of a week 6 review. But
It's not that good of a slate. Doesn't
time
mean
will tell.
Yeah.
But these are the weekends where something crazy happens, as they say.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening. For me, AY from the beautiful state capital of the red state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. To my west, Deberg.
You know,
And Can to my east.
Good night, all. Got 80 degrees. Might be the last day of it today.
Might
Actually,
be.
looks like 78 on Saturday. Could be nice.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week, Week 7. Take care. Have a good one.